Sarah Thompson never thought a simple decision to hire help around the house would turn into the worst nightmare of her life. What started as a way to get her weekends back ended with $15,000 in losses, a police investigation, and a fear she still carries every time someone knocks on her door. It was a Tuesday morning in March when everything fell apart. But the story really begins 6 weeks earlier on a Sunday night when Sarah sat at her kitchen table, buried under a mountain of laundry, staring at the dishes piled in the sink. Her husband Mark was traveling for work again. The kids had just gone to bed after a chaotic evening of homework battles and spilled juice. She was exhausted, and it was only 7:30. "I can't keep doing this," she whispered to herself, scrolling through her phone. That's when she saw it, an ad for Maria's cleaning service. 5-star reviews, affordable rates. Professional, thorough, trustworthy, one review said. Another claimed, "Maria changed my life. My house has never been cleaner." Sarah clicked the phone number and called immediately. A warm, friendly voice answered. "Hello, this is Maria. Thank you for calling." "Hi, I saw your ad online. I'm looking for someone to clean my house weekly. Are you taking new clients?" "Of course. I'd love to help you. Tell me about your home." Maria sounded genuinely interested, asking questions about square footage, how many bathrooms, whether Sarah had pets. They talked for 20 minutes. Maria explained her rates, her process, how she'd been cleaning homes for 8 years, building her business through word of mouth and referrals. "I always treat every home like it's my own. Your satisfaction is guaranteed, or I'll come back and fix anything you're not happy with, no charge." Sarah felt relief wash over her. Finally, someone to help, someone professional. "When can you start?" "How about this Thursday? I have an opening at 9 in the morning." "Perfect. I'll leave a key under the mat since I'll be at work." "Wonderful. I'll take good care of your home, I promise." Sarah hung up feeling like she'd just made the best decision of the year. She told Mark about it that night when he called from his hotel. "Honey, that's great. You deserve the help. You do so much already." Thursday morning arrived. Sarah left the house at 8:15, carefully placing the spare key under the front doormat. She'd left a note on the kitchen counter with her phone number and the list of priority areas. At work, she found herself distracted, checking her phone, excited to come home to a clean house. At 5:30, she pulled into her driveway. The first thing she noticed was that the porch light was on, even though it had been daylight when Maria would have finished. Strange, but maybe she'd just forgotten to turn it off. Sarah unlocked the door and stepped inside. The living room looked different. The throw pillows were arranged, kind of. The coffee table had been wiped down, she could tell. But as Sarah walked through the house, a nagging feeling grew in her chest. Things looked moved more than cleaned. She ran her finger along the bookshelf and it came back dusty. In the kitchen, the counters gleamed, but when she opened the microwave, last night's spaghetti sauce was still splattered inside. The bathrooms were better. The toilets were clean, the mirrors wiped. But the baseboard still had dust, and there were visible streaks on the shower glass. Sarah felt disappointed, but tried to rationalize it. Maybe Maria had rushed on the first day. Maybe she was still learning the layout of the house. Maybe Sarah's expectations were too high. She texted Maria, "Hi, thanks for coming today. The house looks nice. Just a few areas that might need more attention next time. The microwave, baseboards, and shower doors. See you next Thursday." Maria responded within minutes. "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I must have missed those. I'll make sure to get them next time. Thank you for your patience." The next Thursday, Sarah again left the key under the mat. This time, she came home to find the house in slightly better shape. The microwave was clean. The baseboards in the main hallway had been wiped down. Progress, Sarah thought. She was willing to give Maria the benefit of the doubt. Week 3 went by without incident. Week 4, Sarah noticed the front door had been left unlocked when she got home. She texted Maria, "Hey, just a reminder to please lock the door when you leave. Thanks." "I'm so sorry. I could have sworn I locked it. We'll double check from now on." It was week 5 when everything changed. Sarah's boss had sent her home early, around 2 in the afternoon. She'd been feeling sick all morning and finally admitted she needed to rest. As she pulled into her driveway at 2:15, she noticed Maria's car, a Beta Quanda Civic, still parked on the street. Good, Sarah thought. At least she'd catch her mid-clean and could show her a few things in person. Sarah opened the front door quietly, not wanting to startle Maria. The house was silent. No vacuum running, no water from the bathroom, nothing. "Maria?" Sarah called out. No answer. She walked through the living room towards the kitchen. That's when she saw her. Maria was stretched out on the family room couch, fast asleep, her shoes kicked off onto the carpet, the television playing a daytime talk show on low volume. Sarah stood frozen, her mind trying to process what she was seeing. Maria jerked awake, her eyes wide with panic. "Oh, Sarah, I wasn't expecting you home," Maria stammered, scrambling to sit up and grab her shoes. "What's going on?" Sarah asked, her voice shaking. "You're supposed to be cleaning." I know, I'm so sorry. I wasn't feeling well. I got dizzy and just needed to sit down for a minute. I must have dozed off." Sarah looked around. The cleaning supplies were still in their caddy by the front door. Nothing had been touched. "Maria, how long have you been here?" "I just got here maybe 45 minutes ago. I really wasn't feeling good." Sarah felt anger rising in her chest. "If you weren't feeling well, you should have called me and rescheduled, not come into my home and sleep on my couch." "You're absolutely right. I'm so sorry. This has never happened before. Please let me make up to you. I'll clean everything right now. No charge for today." Sarah shook her head. "No, I think we should part ways. I'll pay you for the work you've done, but I'm going to find someone else." Maria's face hardened for just a second, a flash of something cold in her eyes, before the apologetic mask slipped back on. "I understand. I'm really sorry I let you down." After Maria left, Sarah stood in her living room, feeling violated somehow. A stranger had been sleeping in their home. She walked through each room, checking everything. That's when she noticed it. Her jewelry box on the dresser in the master bedroom was slightly open. She always kept it closed. Heart pounding, Sarah opened it fully. She kept her everyday jewelry in the top tray, her nicer pieces below. She immediately saw that her gold bracelet, a gift from Mark on their 10th anniversary, was gone. She dumped out the entire box. Not there. She checked the bathroom counter, her nightstand, everywhere. Gone. "No, no, no, no," she whispered, sinking onto the bed. She opened her top dresser drawer where she kept emergency cash. The envelope that had contained $300 was empty, tucked back exactly where it had been, but completely cleaned out. Her hands were shaking as she grabbed her phone and called Mark. "You need to come home. Now." Mark arrived home within an hour, his face pale as Sarah showed him the empty jewelry box and the envelope with no cash. "We need to call the police right now." He pulled out his phone. "Wait," Sarah said, a horrible thought occurring to her. "Mark, where's your wallet?" He patted his pocket. "Right here. Why?" "Check the office. Check everywhere. What if she took other things? What if she copied our information?" Sarah's voice was rising, panic setting in. They spent the next hour tearing through the house. Mark's passport was still in his desk drawer, but it looked like it had been moved. Their file cabinet with tax returns and bank statements had been rifled through, papers slightly out of order. Sarah ran to her purse and pulled out her wallet. All her credit cards were there, but something felt wrong. "I'm calling the police," Mark said firmly, dialing 911. Officer Jennifer Rodriguez arrived 40 minutes later, a notepad in hand and a sympathetic expression on her face. Sarah and Mark sat at their kitchen table, recounting everything while the officer took notes. "Did she ever ask to use your restroom?" "Yes," Sarah said, remembering. "The very first day, she was in there for like 15 minutes. I thought it was weird, but I didn't want to be rude." "She was probably looking through your medicine cabinet, checking for prescription drugs she could steal or valuable medications. Did you have her sign any kind of contract? Did you see a business license, insurance certificate? Sarah felt her stomach drop. No, nothing. Just the phone call and she showed up. Officer Rodriguez nodded, her expression grim. Mrs. Thompson, I'm going to be honest with you. This is the fourth report we've had this month that matches this exact pattern. A woman using the name Maria, sometimes Carmen or Rosa, running a cleaning service scam. She targets busy families, gains their trust, then steals valuables and personal information. In one case, she copied a house key and the family was burglarized 3 weeks after they fired her. Oh my God, Sarah whispered, feeling like she might throw up. I need you to check all your credit cards, bank accounts, everything. Look for any unauthorized charges. We've had victims whose credit card numbers were photographed and used